is an afternoon edition of Dogging It, but it is not an afternoon edition of Dogging It. I got to change these graphics because this is a little bit different. It's a little
It's
bit
afternoon
different.
for me.
It is, and it's 5 o'clock for me, or almost 5 o'clock for me. But I'm Molina Mike. You know who Collins Newey is. He's been doing a lot of the streams, including this most recent Chuck Markoulis.
Yeah.
I just left from Sacramento, and then a few days later, I get to see that smile again, buddy. I'm real lucky.
Yeah, and this hairline. No, just kidding.
Coming in strong.
Yeah.
No, we're real excited. Me and Collins got a pretty sweet opportunity, and we're excited to announce it. So he went from being a little bitter that I didn't include him in the 64 man, industry bracket challenge that we did, and then now we're going to be working together for the next couple of months at least. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
yeah. But Collins, I'm excited to be working with you, man. I love your enthusiasm. I love your passion. The first time that I met Collins was actually last year at Junior Nationals. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You watched when we met. I was carrying a ton of stuff in and literally building a booth, and you're like, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
Yeah. He's literally on top of like a cube, drilling stuff in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
who the what is that guy? So, but I really got to get a better understanding of who you are and where you come from, and just really vibed off of your enthusiasm, man, more than anything. And so maybe like a month ish ago, I get a message from a certain someone who wears a lot of caps in the industry, and he says, "Mike, who would be your best recommendation to have stream Junior Nationals?" And it was kind of a no brainer for me, man. It was you once again. So
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna bring that certain gentleman over, and today we're gonna be playing nice because Shane Tyree is not only a part of the BEF, he's a part of the WPA, he's a part of what else are you in, Shane? What aren't you in,
Oh,
rather?
man.
Might be a
Oh
little
well,
easier.
yeah. Well, I don't know how I got involved with everything. For years, I just tried to keep my head down and work, and then all of a sudden, I help running the BEF. I'm now the CEO of the BCA, vice president and sports director of the WPA, and I'm a board member of the WCBS. Again, I don't know what a lot of that means,
I don't know what
but
a lot of that means. I need
yeah,
time to
yeah,
like digest it, and just
yeah,
go
yeah.
through each section of where you're in so I can ask you pretty important questions about every one of them. But for today, we're gonna be playing real nice, and we're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about the juniors, man. So let's talk about the junior nationals
Yeah.
that's gonna be coming up at the end of next month, Shane.
Hey, thank you, Mike. And I'm sure we're going to get plenty of time during the junior nationals that we can sit down and talk about all those hard hitting questions. And I'll be more than glad to answer anything that's on the tip of your tongue. But what I've always said, my passion has always been the juniors. From when the BCA started the Atlantic Challenge Cup, 8, 9 years ago, we ran it for 5 years. And then we brought the BEF back to the BCA Expo. And anytime I would get burnt out or worn out or get a finger put in my chest from some manufacturer or some industry member, I'd walk over and mosey along to the juniors and just get re-energized. And you can always
Yeah.
see that's the future of our sport. And so anytime that I'm overwhelmed or I don't know which direction to go in, I throw my hands up in the air and I go, how can I work on the juniors? Because it is so important and so vital to all of our jobs that we use these young athletes as ambassadors for our sport. So it's really a passion project for me. I want to do everything I can to promote the juniors and give them a platform to showcase their talents. And so when I reached out to you, it was a bidding process for the streamers. We got bids from 4 or 5 streamers. And the bid that you guys came in with, and the partnership that you came in, and the moxie and the charisma, and knowing that y'all both worked at it, worked on the junior nationals last year, it was a no-brainer. It was really a no-brainer for the BEF board to make that decision. So thank you. And, both of you guys, I'm big fans. I'm a rail bird. You see me chiming in every now and then. I'm big fans for both of you. So thank you for what both of you bring to the sport. It's very valuable.
Appreciate it. Collins, what do you got, buddy?
Man, I'm stoked to go out there and see all the kids again. Because last year, again, it was kind of one of these things that the reason I got on board last year was because Oscar and Desiree Dominguez were going to be running the bracket and running all the different tournaments, right? And so they had put my name in the hat to be the streamer last year, and I just was looking for content, and I thought it'd be a really cool gig to do, to go to Vegas and then, you know, get to meet you guys and yeah, just kind of start work on getting better at my craft and stuff. And so I wasn't expecting, though, how much fun I was going to have getting to know all the different kids that love the game, and like, especially the ones that travel to all kinds of events and stuff. And I've made some pretty cool little relationships that you know, they kind of come and go and resurface because they're in all different parts of the country and stuff. But I'm really excited to go out there and see, not just to see them again and interact with them again, but to see how the game is changing for them, and to see which ones are taking it more seriously, see which ones are kind of, you know, backing off on the game and going into other avenues, but still love it and want to come and compete. So it's like, yeah, it's a really interesting opportunity for me on many different fronts. So thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
It's kind of interesting the way Shane described it. I could not agree more when it comes to getting re-enthusiastic about pool in general when you talk with juniors, because there are plenty of times within the year that you can get burnt out. And every time you see the passion and the enthusiasm in their eyes and just the way they speak about the game and their hopes and, you know, dreams to go and compete, it's hard not to be able to, or it's hard to like not get behind them and not just root for them, but, you know, use whatever platform that we have to, you know, help showcase them and put a hopefully an even brighter spotlight on them. Not just from, you know, who they are as people, but how their game is, you know. And that's why, you know, when Shane was like, well, do you want to go? And I was like, well, I don't know. But, you know, I said, we'll give it a swing. And you know, it's like Collins, you know, we've built relationships with a lot of these players, and we're going to have one on here soon also to help announce that. But, yeah,
you know, that Mike, sorry, that's the other thing that I forgot to mention is, like, specifically super excited to do it, like, and work on it with you and cover, like, offer the content with you specifically, because we know each other, you know. And so it's going to be really interesting to see what we can push each other to do, like, for the kids, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited. I like your drive, and I like, you're a smart guy, and it's like easy to talk to people who are smart. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So sorry to pull you.
No, not at all. This is where, like, we're gonna just tag team and use both of our, you know, things that we can that we do well, and just vibe them together. And I got plans over the next 6 weeks to talk to a lot of kids, and not just kids who are previous champions, kids who it's going to be their first time attending junior nationals, kids from all ends of the spectrum. And I'm pumped. I genuinely am. And it could not have come for me personally at a better time, because I just, every time I work with them, I just get this newfound sense of drive to just keep on pushing forward. And from both of us, Shane, we really appreciate the opportunity, man, honestly.
And no, I mean, when you think about this sport, and we can, you know, talk about this all day. But, you know, we're giving these kids an opportunity to travel the world. And you don't get that opportunity playing high.
Whoops. And we lose Shane.
And he knew the tough questions were coming. That's for sure. Here we are. Shane,
Yeah.
Are you there?
Oh,
there
yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
There you go.
And so what I was saying was, like, we don't get this opportunity in many other high school sports. This sport is so different than anything else kids play in the United States for many reasons. But they don't, you know, you don't very, very often get that opportunity playing high school football or high school basketball or even high school baseball to go to a world championship in Cyprus, or, you know, a world championship in Austria, or a world championship in Puerto Rico, or Japan. I think it's going to come up in the future years. So it's so important to cater to these juniors, because there are grassroots marketing level to say, hey, I just went to Japan to compete for a world championship. What did you do playing basketball? And so we have this opportunity, and that's why the juniors are so important, to really shine them as the superstars that they are, and give them a platform to showcase their talents, because they are the future of the game. And if we can really develop that talent, and very honestly, that's where, you know, we see the infrastructure. And when you start comparing the infrastructure between what we have in America and what's in Europe and what's in Asia, we don't have the same infrastructure.
Right.
And I take that very personally. And that's one of the tasks I'm trying to work on with, other industry heads, of how can we build that infrastructure, where kids are trying to fight for a city championship, a state championship, a super regional championship, to get to a national championship, to go compete for worlds. When we I mentioned it earlier, when we created the Atlantic Challenge Cup, to me, that was really the boom that started this junior movement that we've seen over the past 8 years. And it really showcased the talent of the juniors. But where I struggled, where the BCA struggled with that, was we did that Atlantic Challenge Cup for 5 years, and you see the poster here in the background. Like, look how young Christina and April look. Look how young Shane looks in that poster, right?
Yeah.
And very honestly, we got our butts kicked for 5 years. But we were playing the likes of Fedor Gorst and Christina and Marguerite and Daniel McCall, and just the Victor Zelinskis. That was the talent Europe was producing, and we just saw us getting our butt kicked for 5 years. So the BCA then turned internally and said, okay, well, how can we spend that same money and start developing an infrastructure? Because I'm tired of going, and getting my butt kicked, and I don't think that's really where we can develop talent. And then the pandemic happened. And then the JIC spurned up, which has been great for the development of kids. And now, we just use all these as stepping stones. But to me, it's about all these groups coming together, for the sake of, the infrastructure of America, and building this and making this look like a sport. That's where I think, some of the struggles are here in the United States. Is we still look at this as a game that's played at the back of a bar. If we're going to ever elevate this here in the States, we have to make it look like a sport. And it starts with the juniors. And I put that very personally on me and my role with the BCA.
Well, we appreciate what all you've done, and I'm sure there's a lot of parents and juniors alike who would share that same gratitude, man. And it's yeah, we're gonna get there, but all it takes effort every day, right, from all of us within the industry to kind of put our heads together and go towards the same direction. So, what do you got, Collins?
Well, I just, the point that you were making about so many people just look at this as a game that people play in the back of a bar, and like it's where friends can just go and see if they can knock the ball in the hole, and it's like we got to start somewhere, showing the world that this game is so much more beautiful than that. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, I can't even imagine something so far from the truth. It's such an interesting game, and it's really cool to see that kids are discovering that. And when I was a kid, I actually, I don't even remember the kid's name, but there was a kid that I went to his house, and he had a pool table there, and he just would never miss, and he just run out. And who knows, maybe he was somebody that like locally or regionally was like a really good player or whatever. But like, obviously he knew how beautiful it was, and I had no idea playing against this kid. I thought he just never missed, And these kids are, a really great opportunity to help other kids understand that it's more than that, So, yeah, being a part of that and doing what I can to spread the word is I'm super grateful to do that. So,
1,000,000%. Shane, how can kids sign up, or is there still opportunities to sign up for junior nationals?
Hey, absolutely. I'm never going to turn a kid away. There's a qualifier, a JIC event going on in Las Vegas this weekend. For the kids that win that 18 and under open division, they'll qualify, but you can always open register. And so you can go to billiardeducation.org and pick an event. This year there is a little bit of change because the WPA changed the World Games discipline from 9-ball to 10-ball, and the World Juniors from 9-ball to 10-ball. The BEF kind of determined that it was a more appropriate game to switch disciplines from 9-ball to 10-ball. And because it's hard to say, hey, go play a 9-ball tournament to qualify for a 10-ball tournament.
Of course, yeah.
And so we looked at it and said, hey, okay, well, we changed the divisions around. And so for the younger divisions, they can still play 9-ball. But for the top divisions and the ones that are going to qualify for Worlds, they're playing 10-ball. we feel that it's a more disciplined game. You take a little bit of the luck out of it, and we'll be sending the best players. You don't want to send somebody to a world championship that fluked a couple of 9-balls in. I know I saw that at the World Games where it's single elimination. How brutal is that for single elimination and somebody went on luck? And so by switching it to 10-ball, you're going to get more of the top players winning more of the events. The other thing we added, I know it looks like you want to ask a question. Let me say one more thing. The other thing we added was we added a 14-1 division this year.
Love that.
And so my philosophy, when we get the kids there, we want them to play pool as much as they can. And so they can have an opportunity to play 9-ball, 10-ball, 14-1, and 8-ball. And very honestly, I'm going to try to talk to the Chinese 8-ball people and see if we can get some hay ball tables and introduce that game over here too.
Yeah.
And so we just want to keep it growing and give these kids as many opportunities as we can to play. And very honestly, I'm going to throw this out there for all the kids listening. I don't have any girls signed up for the 14-1 discipline yet. And so if the girls would like to sign up for that discipline, we do have the Michael J. Rapisi Girls in Billiards Scholarship Fund. So for every winner of every girl that wins their discipline, will get $500 cash on the spot. And if they win the 10-ball division, they get $1,000 to help them with their travel and expenses to go to the event. All the other payouts are in scholarships, because that's how the BEF is set up, because we are an official nonprofit. We're set up as a 501c3. So if anybody wants to donate to the BEF, it is a tax write-off. We are an official a nonprofit 501c3.
We will be posting more information on this and much more about the event, but we're real excited to hear all these great announcements. Now, when it comes to WPA and 9-ball and 10-ball and all that fun stuff, I won't bite at the low-hanging fruit, Shane. I will not, because we're going to be talking juniors.
I gave it to you.
You did.
You.
You're waiting. You're trying to bait me a little bit, but I digress. Listen, we got plenty more time over the next 6 weeks to talk with you. We'll be posting all the links to how to sign up and where to sign up on both of our platforms, Collins and I. But Shane, for right now, I'm going to have to let you go, because I got a girl who's probably got a good chance at snapping off that 14.1, and I'm going to bring her in to see if she will be playing. But Shane Tyree from Collins and myself, we really appreciate you, and we thank you for giving us the opportunity. We cannot wait
Most definitely
to work together, and we'll be having you on in a good way, in a positive way, over the next few weeks as well, buddy.
Hey, guys, I'm your biggest fans. Keep up the great work. I look forward to working with you. Tell your next guest I said hello.
We will, buddy. Thanks so much, Shane.
Thanks, Shane.
Have a good one.
All right, let's bring her on in, Collins. I think you know her. She's the, I want to say, 14 and under girls 9-ball champion. You might know her from all over social media. Savannah, first of all, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And look where she's sitting right now.
At a pool room,
I'm in Griff's right now.
Yeah,
at the pool hall.
I was actually just practicing for the JIC tomorrow here at Griff's.
Nice. You're going to be competing then?
Yep.
That's so awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the BEF, Savannah, because you won, I want to say, the 14 and under girls. Is that right?
Yep. I won the
8-ball, right?
Girls
or what?
And the 18 and under 8-ball girls.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that for a minute. What was that experience like for you? I know I don't think that was your first BEF, but what was it like to snap one off and get the victory finally?
I was just ecstatic. I was like so surprised. Like, I think there's a lot of girls that are coming in now, especially this coming year. So it's getting a little tougher now.
Yeah, you seem to be doing really well. I know you're competing in a lot of not just JIC and junior events, but also WPBA events alongside that. So it's going to it seems like it's only toughened up your game over the last year, probably since the last time that I'd seen you out there. So what are your plans as far as what events you're going to be competing in out there at Quincy come next month?
So I'm going to be competing in the 18 and under girls, which is, I believe, 10-ball this year, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
I think it's 10-ball this year. And then for the 14-year girls, I believe that's still 9-ball. And then I'm doing the 22 and under, which is 8-ball, I believe. And then I was thinking about doing the straight pool one, but I don't know. I'm still questioning it because like I know the basic rules of straight pool, but I don't know like all the technical rules and everything. Like you know.
I I don't know how they're gonna format it, whether or not it's like a 1v1 or just your own
Mhm.
individual high run. But if it's your own individual high run, then it's just you running balls,
Yeah.
and you play till you miss. And then of course if it's a 1 versus 1, then usually they have just races, but it's the
Yeah.
same rules basically. You got to hit a ball, got to hit a rail, and
Mhm.
you know how to put balls in the hole, so there ain't no problem for you there. I don't think there's any jump cues allowed, although I know you're pretty proficient in it. But no, we're excited to have you out there, Collins. What do you got for the Roadrunner?
Well, I'm just curious. I mean, it seems like every time I look at a tournament, wherever it is in the country, if it's for women, you're playing in it. How many events have you played in this year? Do you know? Like, is it one every
Oh, I
month,
don't
or is it?
know, but I'm pretty much. I believe for the month of July, I think I'm pretty much traveling every single week for a tournament. Um,
Wow.
I'm I'm doing a lot of events this year. That's all I know.
Do
But
you
yeah, my
feel
mom's my.
do you
What were you
feel
gonna say?
like you're improving after every single event? Do you still
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
feel the
Like
fire and the improvement?
yeah, the WPBA just played in Alabama for the Iron City Billiards. There's so many things I've learned from that. Like there's so many things I've learned from my game just by playing that one tournament. So I came back here to improve them.
Can you
Elaborate
give one
elaborate on that.
example?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you give one example of something like specific that you noticed and how you're addressing it?
So basically, the first thing was probably it was obviously mental game. That's like my biggest thing right now. But I'm also trying to focus more on my like pre-shot routine because I realized the more I focus on my pre-shot routine, the more I like the ball just kind of flows into the pocket. You know?
Hmm. Hmm.
We wouldn't know what that's like because we hit them into the rail, but we
I
we've
make
s-
I make one
we
ball like every
yeah.
10 shots. Yeah.
But we've seen plenty of times whenever you're playing pool, and we know what you're talking about in that aspect.
Yeah.
So, um, let's talk. Let's circle back on BEF. Savannah, when was your first time that you played in junior nationals?
I think it was 2 years ago. I think almost 2 years ago. That was actually my first tournament I ever played.
What do you mean, like ever in life?
Yeah, like that was the first tournament like I ever played.
Hold on, you've only been
Wait,
playing pool for 2 years?
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Oh man, I want to go jump off a bridge now. I've been playing pool for like 15 years. I'm not even that good. What the heck? Collins is mind blown over there.
I like wish I had that button that said, "Oh my god,"
Yeah.
like that like meme thing. Like I had no
Yeah,
idea. That's crazy.
yeah. So what were you thinking going into the event? Like were you nervous? What were your expectations like?
I actually wasn't nervous. So every year I begged my dad to play it, but we were also always in me, my mom, and my brother were in Macau to visit my great grandma. So when COVID hit, I couldn't go overseas to visit her. So I finally got to play that tournament, and I was like actually really excited. And that's pretty much what got me into pool and wanted me to get me into practicing and stuff like that, and like really critiquing my game.
How did you finish that first year?
Oh, in all divisions, I actually went 2-0. But I went hill with some players, and I was just so happy I just got that far.
And then the next year, she snaps off 2 tournaments.
That's crazy. So from one year to the next was your first, and then you snap off 2 events. That's unbelievable. I never knew that.
That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah, that's
cool.
unbelievable. Well, I don't really know where to go from there because I'm a little just dumbfounded by that because I never knew that. I figured you've been playing for like many, many, many years, and we've talked before, so this is all news to me. But this is great because there could be the next Savannah Easton that could be playing her first time or his first time in junior nationals in Quincy
Oh yeah.
next month. How
Mhm.
how can you not get discouraged when you have a start like that, Savannah? When it's your first time playing and you go 2 and out, how do you stay so positive and upbeat? Because I'd imagine there may be some kids that go through those ups and downs as well.
Honestly, my dad actually helped a lot. Cause he he never like talked down to me. He never said, "Why would you do this? Why would you do that?" He actually like uplifted my game, and he just said, "Okay, we'll just work on these stuff when you have free time." And he never pushed anything on me. Like some people think like he pushed things on me when I was young, but I don't, it was all me. I took an interest in it from like the first time I picked up cue, and and then now I'm here.
Now Larry created a monster.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you got, buddy?
Well, I just I don't know. I'm super impressed with Larry and Tiffany. Those are Savannah's parents. For those of you who
Right.
don't know, and how supportive they are of what you're doing. I think it for me, that's one of the toughest things is trying to make sure that my head is in a space where I can still enjoy the game. Like, even though I create expectations for myself about results based on like the practicing that I've been doing over an
oh
extended period of
yeah,
time, like you go
that's
up to a
totally me.
tournament and you think you're supposed to perform a certain way. And then like, if I don't, I used to be really hard on myself. And now I've actually gone the other direction, like almost to a fault where like I completely default to make sure that I'm just having fun. But like being on the competitive scene like you are, it must be really difficult to kind of ride that line between wanting to make sure that you're pushing yourself to improve and
Yeah.
like you need to be disappointed with the failures to a certain extent, but then also not become overwhelmed with them. And that's really cool that you say that your dad, that Larry's like
Yeah,
really good at
that's
helping you
that's
through that.
another thing. He's helping me through it, yeah, but that's pretty much the biggest thing that like the WPBA I just played. I had such high expectations because like I was practicing a lot, and I was like, I was like, oh, if I just focus on my pre-shot routine and timing, then I'll just make every ball. But that's not reality. So I was just practicing, and I did that in the practice. Like I was breaking running. Like I put 3-pack easily, and then the tournament's totally different. Your mindset, everything.
Hmm. Well, and then also it's a game of as much as it's a game of skill, right? Which it really is. Obviously, you need to be able to execute, and you need to be able to have like a really well repeating strokes that you can rely on, and all of that's true. But it's also a game of odds because you never know exactly how the balls are going to lay, and you never know if your particular skill set is going to be strong for the way that the balls lay. So it's like it's difficult if sometimes it feels like the game is getting away from you to make sure that you are keeping yourself in the right headspace to still execute at your highest level possible, even though maybe the roll of the dice just didn't go your way in the beginning of the set. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of it's a tough game like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very much
hopefully.
so, and that's why pool can just be so mental. It's not.
Yeah.
It's you're 4 feet tall, and and it doesn't matter how tall or short or strong or big you are. It doesn't make a difference because you can all play pool at a great level if you dedicate yourself and have a lot of skills like you do, and have great work ethic and great support like your parents.
Yeah.
Um, you've made a lot of fans over the last couple of years, myself and Collins included.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and a ton more everywhere you go. We're real excited to see you compete. What was your there it is. There's the road runner. You see that, Savannah?
Big fan right
Where's
there,
mine?
man.
I
I'll
saw you
give
in
you
Vegas.
one in Illinois.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
you up on that. I need mine for my media travel bag, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What was your fondest memory of last year, Savannah?
Oh, honestly, I don't even remember last year. Seriously, like I've traveled so much, my mind's like a blank.
At junior nationals, more specific, what was your fondest
Junior
memory?
nationals.
Yeah.
It was I don't know. It was kind of winning. It was probably winning it. I mean, that
Yeah.
was like probably one of my best moments. So, but I also made some friends there. So, and there last year I met some new, little girls like 8, 9 years old. They're trying to get into it more. So, I mean that's good to see. And I played them actually, and uh, the good thing is they actually had a really positive attitude. Like they were like
Yeah.
me the first year. Like they were so happy just to be there. And yeah,
Do you get a lot of girls and boys that look up to you because you're playing all over the place and you're competing with top pros, not just in juniors but on top women players as well? Do you get a lot of kids or parents that reach out to you and say, "Hey, my kid's looking up to you"?
Oh yeah, there's actually some of them that like they just ask me to wish them a happy birthday just because it'll be like so awesome for their kid. And
That's cool.
I've seen so many videos with them saying thank you Savannah for this, thank you Savannah for that. So that's really great to see. I mean,
How does that?
I've met 4-year-olds that are like saying that, and it's just so cute.
That's amazing. How does that make you feel?
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
I'm especially my dad. I mean, he even said it from the beginning before like I even like went on WPBA and anything. He's I actually did a news interview on Fox 5 where it said we just got into this mostly to inspire more kids to get into it, you know.
I think you're doing that. I think it's mission accomplished, you know. But you got a long more road ahead of you, a lot more competing to do, including next month. Savannah, we look forward to seeing you out there and competing with all the best players. And I'm gonna get you out of here on this. Are you gonna repeat what you won last year? Are you gonna get the W again this year?
Oh yeah, I'm defending my title.
You heard it here. You guys and girls better watch out. Savannah's coming. We're coming. We can't wait to be out there in Quincy. Savannah, thank you so much for coming on, and
Thank
we look
you.
forward to talking with you more in the next few weeks.
Thank you. I'll see you next month. Can't wait.
Yes,
I'll see both
yes,
of you
ma'am.
actually.
Gosh, it's only a
Definitely.
month and a half away.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
know, right? I can't
Yeah.
believe we're even
Yeah.
in June. Like,
Don't
felt like
even remind
January
me.
was just last month.
Don't even remind me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go enjoy your practice, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Savannah. All right, Collins. Well, this
Yeah.
is gonna be the first of many shows between you and I, my man.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
I got a lot more kids that I'm lining up and stuff we're going to be doing together and individually. And I'm real pumped, man. It's stuff like that. I had no idea that was our first time. That blows me away. Like we could be seeing the future of pool coming through, next month out in Illinois, man.
Right. Exactly. Well, actually, speaking of the future of pool, let me show you something here. Let me see if I can pop this up real quick.
Part of why I immediately recommended Collins, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching now saw his stream over the weekend, but Collins is very innovative and progressive when it comes to his streams, man. He's completely ahead of the curve. I love how he attacks certain things. Let's see here. Is that my man Adrian? There
That's
he
your
is.
boy. Of
That's
course,
my
he's in the
man,
pool hall
Adrian.
too right now.
Of course.
He's mixing it up with one of the strongest players around in here, Jeremy
Who's he
Long.
playing?
They're sparring with
Oh,
Jeremy
yeah.
Long. So that's a way to stay strong. You know, if you're going to go out and play some other juniors out there, it's like
Iron
gotta
sharpens iron, man. You know,
play the best. You know, so
right.
yeah.
And that was one thing, like with Adrian over the course of the weekend. I mean, he beat a strong player in what is it? I'm drawing a blank. Well, from Florida. What was his name?
Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond Linares.
Yeah.
There you go. How did I forget
Yeah.
Raymond's name? Yeah, he had a real strong win against Raymond. Adrian is the defending. What did he win? Like the 10 ball?
16 and under. Dude, the thing that's craziest about that match is we were streaming a match on table 4 while that match was happening, and he was playing on table 3, and I didn't even know he was playing on table 3. And I look over there and he's playing Raymond, who's like a 7-17 Fargo, and I look at the score and it's like 6-1. And I was like, oh man, the kid's probably on his way to the 1-loss side or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then Raymond wins a game and moves a bead, and he has 2 games. And I was like, no way. The kid's up on the hill against one of the tougher guys in the tournament. Yeah, that's wild.
He comes to report his score to me, and Adrian can wear his emotions on his sleeve to some extent, smiling or just kind of dejected a little bit. But he was ear to ear, and he says, "I got it 9 to whatever it was," and I could not be more happy for him. And there's so many Adrians in Savannah's and just kids that I met last year that just left an impression on me, over the course of that event. Another one that comes to mind is Hayden. Real, I think he went pretty deep in one of the events as well. Real small kid, but plays with a ton of heart. I think he's sponsored by Q-Tech. And just
Nico Conkle kid that took third place really in both the 16 and under and the 18 and under. I think he got like third in both or fourth or something in both. Yeah,
it was it was a lot. There was a few kids, and if I look at a list of names, I'll be like that one and that one, that one. But
exactly.
I can't wait to go back, man. I'm very excited to work with you, Collins. And we got to do a good job, man. Not for me and you, but for them kids.
We will. Yeah.
So we want to appreciate Shane Tyree again for giving us the opportunity. We got a bunch of sponsors, not a bunch, we got a few sponsors that we'll be announcing over the next few days as well. We're looking for a couple more to help with the event. We're going to be doing stuff starting now, today, through the event. And then, of course, the entire event. Collins, what can people expect from the stream side of things?
I mean, just covering as much of the action as possible. I'm getting a lot better at making sure that I do it in a way where we don't miss action that's important. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like the majority of the chat like can have some input on what we're watching and stuff. And last year I was just winging it because it was the first time I had a PTZ camera. Now I have 4. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to offer basically the red zone of pool for the BEF championships, like
I love that
covering
comparison,
all the
man.
cool stuff. Yeah, and then I think doing what I can to make sure that we can maybe insert clips of your interviews and stuff on stream too. Like if we can get like little clips of the interviews that you're taking, and like if a player's coming up to play, we're gonna try to do some new stuff that hasn't really been done in the pool world before that you see in other sports. So we'll try and do some stuff there. Kind of brainstorming still, but just because I had a couple of big busy weeks, we're really going to get into it in the next couple months or month.
We haven't had any time to decompress whatsoever. I just drove in late last night back home, but we got a ton of enthusiasm, a ton of passion. I'm excited to work with the kids. I'm excited to work with you, and we're just going to go and knock it out of the park. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be going live a lot more over the next few weeks. So we appreciate all the support. Hit the like, hit the share button. And we'll be seeing all you guys soon.
All right.